Welcome to a brand new episode of the Coffee Break Podcast.
Whoa.
We are joined today with the great Slim,
All right.
the great Jama,
Productions.
and the very great, I got him with the very,
Dale. He said it, not me. He asked me to ask him.
let me do this again. Hit him with the greatest, Elmi.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So I hope you guys enjoy our show today. Leave a like and subscription.
leave a like and subscription. Like we're selling them newspapers.
Yo, at the end of the day, leave a like and a subscription. I'm trying to get you guys numbers. Right?
Love it. I love it. We're here for that. Yo, I appreciate you coming back, man. Circling back. The man, the star, the legend. You're the real legend here. Because you know, like I don't make music. I just make clothes. So you know,
Clothes
you
are
got
amazing.
the sound.
Don't downplay yourself. Don't downplay yourself.
Yeah, did you introduce yourself?
That's what I'm trying to get to.
They don't need to know.
That's what I'm trying
How
to get
can
to.
They need to know
It's
about me.
Yo.
Oh, okay. What?
You know what? Some would say you are a fantasy.
Hey, yo.
I've heard that before.
I'm just saying.
Is that wild?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it my fantasy, but you
I
know.
just-
Hold on. My fantasy, man.
Why do you guys always have to go? Like, why do you have to become so homophobic?
No,
Like, come on,
like
like,
a
just-
pod.
I'm
Oh,
fantasy.
man.
I'm nobody's fantasy. There's no my fantasy. It's a fantasy.
Except the gal them out there, you know, like you gotta tell
Except,
them.
you know, if you're gonna pull up at 3 a.m., you know, I'll be your fantasy. You know,
You gotta tell
I
them.
like a 1-2 thing.
This guy actually has a track called "Fantasy Girl,"
Yeah, he does.
and it's actually fire, dog.
Yeah, I do still. It's out now. Actually, I put it down. It's gonna be out again in like a few weeks.
Re-release.
Re-release, you know, with clear vocals, better production.
Remastered. Let him know.
Shout out, very
Remastered.
big Selly.
Basically
by the way.
remastered. Yeah. Shout out
no.
to very big Sally. You know, he's working hard on them tracks.
Yo, can I ask you a question?
Mm.
How did you come across the name fantasy? Like, what got you into that?
Good question.
This guy hit me with the hard one. All right.
We need to know.
All right.
Streets need to know.
When I was choosing a name, I just like daydreaming a lot. That's like something that I just like always associated with myself.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I just always saw like, yo, I'm like an overthinker. I'm always in my head. So I wanted to translate that into the outside world. So I was like, yo, like let me bring my daydream outside. I was actually just gonna call myself daydream,
Mhm.
but like I was like, nah. So I was like, fantasy would be a much more like beautiful way to like paint the pictures I had in my head.
That's actually so fire.
Yeah. It's like it's like the core concept is just bringing your dreams into reality.
Mhm.
And like, you know, just like it's just that's just expressed like through like different emotions that you have and just like trying to like make a fantasy out of that.
That's dope.
So it's fair to say that every one of your songs is a type of fantasy that you have.
Yeah. It's like based off like living experience and then just like obviously like as artists we have to make sure it's all like much more like blown out of proportion to make it more entertainment.
Yeah.
So like I do that sometimes, but still it's just still like just grounded in everyday experiences and trying to make them into fantasies.
That's fire. That's
Yeah.
fire. That kind of reminds me of like The Weeknd in a sense, you know? Like the songs like he makes are kind of like the weekend vibes.
Drug related.
Like vibes for like a Saturday, Friday, Sunday.
Here's the weekend. He thinks about
He
cocaine.
only talks about three things, bro. He talks about drugs, women, and just ecstasy, fam. That's all he talks about.
I mean, ever since he went pop, he doesn't really do that anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
It's like pop music now. It's like, oh, I love you, my baby. Blah. You know, it's all about that.
Your tears for another day.
Hey,
Relax. But no, but that's majority of his songs right now.
Okay.
That's majority of his songs right now. And they're like, it's like, you know, it's a good chapter, you know? It's like he used to be about that dark shit. Like, you know, he used to, like it was very like depressing shit, but like he just made it sound hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. It was just a vibe for like Trilogy especially. And then like, you know, he became a star boy and now he's on a more positive track.
Yeah, fuck with that. Is that like kind of like your inspiration in a sense?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
Weeknd?
from Toronto, you know, you just vibe with him more.
Mhm.
Even at like a young age, like, you know, like the music that he was putting out, it was always 20 out of 10. You know, the Trilogy run. You know, House of Balloons.
It was a run, bro.
You know, House of you know, Wicked Games.
Shh. I know Wiki Games. You know, in high school, I used to hide that from people that I was fucking with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Because everybody was fucking with Chief Keef and like, you know, like,
That was the run.
yeah, like
That was-
everybody was rocking with like
Not me.
Drill, you know.
Lil Durk and like, you know, so I'm like, I'm sitting
Love
listening to like House of Balloons. I'm like, guys, you guys don't even
I like
know
Ed
about
Sheeran.
this. In high school?
I was an Ed Sheeran fan, yeah.
In high school?
What grade?
Whenever he did the Green album came out,
The Green album.
forgot what I thought.
There's multiple?
I don't remember. It's the one before the blue one.
I don't think I knew Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran in high school.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know about him yet. He came
Mhm.
on my radar like after a little bit, like when that album came out, the Division one.
Yeah, I knew about
Yeah,
that
that was
was
like
too.
That's when he really
That's
came
the
on
that's
my
the
radar.
breakout
Yeah.
album. That's the breakout album.
That's the one that put him on the
Oh, really?
map.
That's his breakout album?
Like that's the one that made him mainstream. Like everybody knows about him. Before that, he was kind of like a select few. He was still popular,
Mhm.
but like only
on
a
the
select
rise.
few of people
Mhm.
liked him, right?
Oh, like that's when he made that wedding song, right?
Which
that,
one?
like that
Yeah,
big wedding
Perfect.
song. Perfect, yeah.
How
Shape
old
of
is-
You,
how
the
old
one
is
that was pardon?
How old is Ed Sheeran?
I don't know. He's the type that can
Early
look.
30s.
He's early 30s.
Older
He
than
can
us.
look 20 and 40. You never know how much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always looked like the guy from Harry Potter to me.
So,
You know,
Ron
like Ron Weasley.
Ronald Weasley?
He always reminded me of Ron Weasley, bro. He gave me Ron Weasley vibes.
Oh, he's not a handsome nigga.
I mean,
like,
I
he
wouldn't
just-
be the guy to judge. You know? I'm just saying.
He just like
That's why he made a joke saying that God said that you need help getting laid, so give me a guitar
yeah.
and the
facts.
singing ability.
I mean, he's got a good face for radio.
Yeah.
Oh, was he on the radio?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I actually didn't know. I know nothing about his
How
come
can you
up.
have a face for radio? It's radio. You know?
I've never been on.
Yeah, damn. But
Talk about like your collaboration with Big Selly though, because you guys have a really good pocket, and the production ability and the way you mix and master your voice.
you guys are actually getting better at the same time, which is crazy to see. You know, it's like the
100%.
production, like the progression level is happening both on two different sides, you know, and that's just crazy to see.
Ah, yeah, it's exactly like what you guys are doing here. You know, working with a team, just working like continuously, make sure you guys are just focusing on getting better. It's the same thing with me and him. We just he makes better beats every time, and I try to make a better track. It's like he makes a beat, I have to make a hard track, and then like he makes a harder beat, I have to make a harder track, and so on and so on.
You guys are competing,
Yeah,
going off each
it's
other.
like it's like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what makes us honestly like it's like a competition between us.
Take me through the mindset of when you hear a beat that you really fuck with. Like what happens to like as an artist,
Electrifying.
as an artist, I like this,
Electrifying.
but like how do you get like a track out of that? You know?
Honestly, you just gotta listen to it a few times. Maybe take a drive with it. Go on the bus. You know, I know this nigga's not about buses, but like you know, it's a great place to think.
I don't do buses, bro.
You don't do
Oh.
buses?
That's for low.
What about the Go Bus?
Oh,
I've never
caca
been on one.
slipping.
You've
I've
never
never
been
been
on
on
Look at this posh ass
Ever been
nigga,
on
bro.
the
Like
bus?
No, I've never been on the go bus. That's for
No, the
low
Go Train
class.
I've been on. I
Go
haven't been
train?
on the
Go
Bus.
train?
I don't do things below me.
Damn.
whoa,
Hey, yo.
whoa.
Okay.
Shots to everyone.
Okay.
Do you own a Presto
Who's your
card?
demographic?
Listen,
Listen, Jama's a higher standard type of nigga.
He came here in that foreign. That's what
I
you're
respect
saying.
it. Hey.
He came here in that foreign.
That Mazda.
Is what I do.
It's a foreign. It's a foreign. That's fire.
That was funny.
That's fire though. I'm always interested because like I always told you guys don't have the ability to write music. It's just not in me. So I'm always fascinated when I see somebody who does it and who does it well. You know?
I know you say stuff like that, but like I still stand on this. The Goosebumps edit that you did
Oh man,
is one of the hardest pieces of music I
production
ever have in my life.
Listen, I love production, man, and I used to do production for a long time, and I would say a long time, like just a small little touch, and I just stopped doing it, and that's one of the biggest regrets of my life, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You
Because I
can
see,
pick
you
back
know, like I
Yeah,
see all
you
these.
can bring it back up.
Yeah, now, but I need to invest in it to get back into it, you know, because back then I was like, I was pirating software, you know, like I wasn't like really like investing. I was kind of just like, yeah, just messing around. And then like, I really, really fucked with it though. And then, but my laptop couldn't continue that lifestyle. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Hey, yo.
Sledding on my laptop right now. My RAM is going to waste. I'm like, yo, I can't, I couldn't do it any further. But like, that's one of the biggest regrets, bro. Inshallah, when I get myself that laptop we've been talking about,
Yeah.
or just my own personal laptop, I'm diving head and toe right back in.
Send me your beats.
Have to, bro. I'm trying to link up with very big Selly, bro. I need to be his protege. I'm just saying. That guy's like he's like the master right now.
I mean, I'll show you everything about drums.
Yeah. And
Everything
he
about
he knows everything about Pro Tools, man. I was a Fruity Loops nigga. So, you know. But let's not get too sidetracked. We know what we're here for. It's the Coffee Break Is this not the Coffee Break podcast? This is the Coffee Break podcast, right? So we get into business. We get into real.
Get with it.
It has been a pretty weird week, you know, because like it's the holiday season, everybody's just going into their own thing and shit. So there hasn't been much uproars, you know, like the timeline has uproars every week and shit.
Yeah.
But this week, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I was watching, there was a clip that's been surfacing about the gymnast Simone Biles and her husband. I didn't even know she was married till now, actually, but they were on the Pivot podcast, right? And basically, the story goes, the video I seen at least, the clip that I seen was who runs the Pivot again?
Who
Ryan
the
Clark.
chatting Fred and
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark. I think it was Ryan Clark that asked the question. He said, "Tell us how you guys met," right? And Simone Biles has been he's in the NFL, right? And he was at the time when they were interacting with each other, he was just a college student, right? So, but I guess he was like a high draft pick or like a
He plays for the Packers now.
I'm not too sure what team he's on or whatnot, but he was like a prospect, a decent prospect. And he said that he didn't know about Simone Biles at the time. I think this was like 2019. He said
Mm-hmm.
he said he didn't know about her at all. He didn't know she existed. He didn't know that the Olympics had like a up and coming gymnast that's in like in female gymnastics, right? So he said it wasn't on his radar. He was in training camp. He was getting ready for the season to start, and then he was on a dating app, and Simone Biles swiped on him.
Is it a celebrity dating app?
I don't know exactly.
I don't think Simone Biles would be on Tinder, fam.
To be honest, he never really specified what app it was, but he said that they matched on the app, and then he went on her social media, and he initially saw that she had a lot of followers, like a cult following almost, right? So he's like, yeah, she's got to be a good gymnast because her title and her bio and everything.
I know about Simone Biles.
That's what I was thinking about. That's the only part of the story that I was like, you know what, bro, you might be feeling yourself a bit much by saying this because like everybody knows Simone Biles by now, right?
There's an argument to say that he's in college. He's trying to make the NFL. He's grinding for his own goals.
He did make that. He did make that point actually in the video. He said he was head down. It was training camp, and he was trying to get to the NFL, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't any social media or anything like that on his radar at the time.
Yeah.
So he was just like completely under a rock,
Mm-hmm.
So he matches with her. He says, and then he says that he got with her. He said he started to go on her social media. He started to go on her Instagram and whatnot. Started to see her photos, like her stuff and shit. And then he said he never messaged her. He said he let the day go by or whatever. He said, I went to take a shower or something like that. And I came back to a message from her saying, hey, what's up? How are you? He said, we hit it off right away. And then he said she asked him out on a date. And she lived 45 minutes away from him and came to see him, which is nice. It's
assertive.
That means she must have really liked the guy, right?
Yeah.
One thing led to another and they hit it off and eventually they got married. The timeline on social media went into a crazy frenzy saying how he was disrespecting his wife, how he was claiming that he's the catch and that he wanted to be, or he had to be courted. And they just completely spun it.
Wait, did he say that or
no?
Is that what people are?
I mean, in the conversation that when they were talking,
Yeah.
the guys from the pivot, they were like, so, like you were you're the catch, like they were kind of like,
oh, they're pushing that narrative.
But she was sitting right next to him, mind you, right? She was sitting right next to him, smiling, chuckling, kikiing the entire time. And they were making these just small regards and just it seemed playful to me, and Simone Biles didn't really say anything. There wasn't any upset people.
Just joking,
Just joking, yeah, just good vibes. And the story to me was a happy ending. They got together, they're married, they love each other. But people on social media have crucified this man, saying how he doesn't respect his wife, how she's in a much bigger position than him in life, and how he should have respect for that, and how he shouldn't parade her as beneath him. And I'm just like, where are you guys getting this from?
Yeah.
I'm like, where's all it? The man's freezing his wife, telling the story of how he met her, and he didn't lie. She's sitting right next to him. She would have said, nah, that's cap, right? But no, she was 100% okay with that. And then, obviously people majority of it's feminists, but they're very upset at the fact that they feel like she was degraded on a show full of men.
Yeah.
And wasn't able to speak up for herself at that time.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see it like that. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it, right? But another thing to add after the fact was that Simone Biles starts posting on her social media all these photos of her and her husband together. And then the comments are just mood, LOL, and shit. So she really gives no fucks about this. She's enjoying her life.
Yeah.
But people are mad for her. What do you guys think about that?
They got to get off the internet.
I agree, 100,000%.
It's some things that are said in interviews or even in real life, like sarcasm jokes, it's not translated well when it's read on text. You see what I'm saying? They just posted it on some post. Some people read that and they just read that wrong. Let's be real. Yeah. That's it. They just need to get the fuck off the internet and just mind your own business.
Yeah, touch some grass, guys.
Touch some fucking grass.
Touch grass, bro. What the fuck?
What do you guys have to say?
What do you think?
You know what, man? To your point, I think it was taken out of context. People saw something, ran with it, made a story out of it, and it's story sell, right? If people just read the title, it's like, oh, Simone Biles is the assertive one in the relationship. It makes him because I feel like there is a push in today's society where they're trying to kind of make men like like we talked about it, the sassy men apocalypse. Like,
Yeah,
they're
no
trying
cap.
to take away the masculinity from men, right?
Yeah,
And
masculinity is now a bad thing.
yeah,
Like
I
toxic
agree.
masculinity.
No,
always-
just
I think
just
there's a
not
difference.
toxic, not
There's
toxic.
a difference.
Just masculinity.
Yeah.
Just the aspect of being a man.
Yeah.
Is wrong. In
I
society,
see. I see what
people,
you're saying.
Some
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
I see
Some
what you're
people,
saying.
let's
Yeah.
clarify. But like, I think it was people saw an opportunity to take a man's experience and laugh at him. Like, oh, this guy is basically the feminine one in the relationships. He's the one who wears the pants. How dare you not know X, Y, and Z? And people just took the opportunity to sit on him, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it's so funny how people are so willing to throw somebody under the bus for something that's none of their business.
Exactly.
Like you can clearly see they were on the podcast. By the way, I love the Pivot podcast, but
Mhm.
they were on it together and they're the best. Like they clearly have a great dynamic, right?
Yeah.
But for them to see that, try to tear them apart and now try to make problems for their relationship, it's none of those people's business. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think just people need to stay in their place.
100,000.
No, but that happens when I think a lot of the times when the female is a bigger star than the male is, though.
Mm.
Because the reason she's sitting there and smiling, I'm assuming, is because she knows she's Simone Biles.
Yeah.
No one can argue against her accomplishments. No
Mhm.
one can argue against the path that she's taken from who I don't even think we can name another gymnast that's
I don't
in
know.
pop culture
I don't know.
than Simone Biles. But I think that's why she stepped aside, just allowed him, and that's on NFL podcast, even though they've grown past an NFL podcast, in that venue for him to speak his part in it, speak his piece, and allow his personality to be shown.
Mhm.
Because who knows, they may end up with a reality show or with something else if people start favoring both of them.
Mhm.
But I think that's what social media wants, is that she is the bigger star. So let her lead the path instead of him having his own path and having his own thing to speak on. But yeah, no, I agree. People should mind their own business, but I'm all for her saying that, this is our love story. This is how we show, like, I allowed him and we have our own spaces and our own thing, but we're still a union.
Yeah. And to that point, the dude was grinding. He was trying to get into the NFL.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to be a professional athlete? It's
Mhm.
like 1 in a million. And the man actually was able to take it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for him not know her just means that he was so stuck in his path and his craft that he was just in it to win it, And it's not his fault that he doesn't know her. And to that point, I think it's pretty awesome that she was assertive and came 30 minutes or 45 minutes to
45-minute drive.
him,
Mhm.
I think that's cool.
I think
Like,
it's cool too.
you know?
There's a lot of people that are upset about the fact that she went out of her way to get with this guy. And it's like, why? Just because their status is different?
Mm.
Like that to me doesn't make any sense. And that's where I agree with both of you guys. These people need to mind their own business. And I feel like today in society, bro, especially on social media, man, there's a lot of relationship police. There's a lot of relationship police. Like, yo, they're like, you're not doing it right. That's pretty much what they're saying. You're not doing it right. It's like, you don't know a thing about this relationship. You're literally just watching a clip.
Yeah.
It's like these guys could be the greatest like couple of all time.
Yeah.
And you would never have any idea. They're just showing you social media is the highlights of people's lives. You know what I mean?
For
Like
sure.
you don't know the ins and outs. You don't know the intricacies of their marriage, Marriage, especially for some people, like they've been married for 3 years now, right? And they seem very happy and together. Like I went on Simone Biles' Instagram before this, and I was looking at the photo she posted with her man. They're so happy together. They look so great together. And mind you, what I'm saying is that I don't know the full context. They're just showing me what's like the beauty of their relationship, right?
They should.
But for me to go ahead and make judgments on what they should or shouldn't be doing, I think it's crazy, dog.
It is, yeah.
I think it's especially since they're celebrities. They're not even in your friend group, my nigga. Like they're celebrities. Like they don't give a fuck what
You know
you
what I blame,
think.
though? I blame people like Tyrese. I blame people
Tyrese Gibson.
like Will
When he was
Smith.
crying on
Yeah.
camera.
These people share too much of the bad parts of the relationship,
Think
giving
so.
people an opinion
Yeah.
that everybody wants to share their opinion on everybody's aspects of the relationship.
Yeah.
This man was crying on. I don't know what he was crying about. I moved on from when he was
You
crying.
talking about the red table talk?
No, Tyrese went on live. I think some with his wife or something like that.
I remember that.
He went on live, crying
for his wife back, right?
Yeah, but that's the wrong venue. That's the wrong space.
Yeah,
Will Smith and his family sharing too much. Now people have an opinion on a happy couple, saying they're not that happy.
I never thought about it like that. That really might just be it, to be honest with you. Because like now that I think about it, they're like a lot of what Will Smith and Jada have been sharing is so unnecessary. Nobody needs to know that.
Will. Let's be clear.
But he's okay. He's okay with
it.
Yeah.
But clearly it's coming from one side.
But wouldn't you dead that shit if you saw like?
I don't think he has any power over her.
That is true. There's
No,
weird.
like,
There's a
I'm
weird
not taking
dynamic.
anything away from my goat.
And then like why do we know that? Why like
He's my
just that on its own? Why do we know that?
It's,
Why the hell do we know that?
It's being forced on us.
He's right. Well, like keep that shit to yourself.
100%.
Like why the hell do we? Because now there's so much like standards and like there's so much like these relationship police. You know, they're coming on social media and like, oh, you know what? That doesn't look like what it should be. Or you're disrespectful to your wife. There's people saying they should get divorced, Simone Biles and her husband, just for that clip.
For sure.
Literally, bro.
Crazy.
Like, I think she should consider divorcing him because he doesn't respect her. And I'm like, what?
how dare they?
You don't fucking know them.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Let's try and put their past experiences in their relationship.
People-
They just see that, they're like, oh, I know what's going on behind the scenes. It's
People
happened
get
to me.
way too passionate about celebrities, man.
I
Way
don't even
too
think it's
passionate.
that. You know what it is? Don't get me wrong. I do think people are passionate about celebrities, but I think these people that are making these comments are
Mhm.
people who, for the most part, have no experience in relationships. They don't know how difficult it is to maintain, to keep, and love another person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And their frame of reference is all the rom-coms that they watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And seeing that and seeing the perfection of what is an on-screen relationship, they associate that with online personalities, assuming that,
For sure.
yo, they are whatchamacallit, Jasmine and Aladdin, you know? Like, they are perfect. That's how it should be.
Very
But in
tough.
reality, people come in, like, people have their own problems that they bring. And the whole point of relationship is trying to work together to make something great.
Mhm.
And that working together doesn't change no matter how old you get. Like, you're dating, you're courting, like you become like engaged, you become married, like you grow old together. At no point does a relationship ever stop growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always developing. Like, there's no perfect relationship. You're always working together to make something great. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And for these people who have no frame of reference as to what, like, they're basically applying for a job with no experience. Like, they're telling me how to make it like a resume without ever having any foot in the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, bro.
It's like the people.
me off.
It's like you know what I think. You know what I
Like, it
compare it
pisses me
to.
off,
You know what
bro.
I compare it to. I compare it to the people who bet on sports and they get mad when a player doesn't score. It's like, yo, how can you not score 23s in a game, bro? It's
That's
so
what I'm saying.
simple, my nigga. What the fuck? I was supposed to win $10,000 because you. And it's like, bro, you have no skill.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. Like, what are you talking about?
Skip Bayless.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, bro. It's really they're all Skip Baylesses.
He's
bro.
saying, why couldn't LeBron score 50 points?
Exactly. Like, LeBron.
He averaged 1.2 with 2 points, right?
Yeah, like
In
my
high
nigga, like
school.
what are you talking about, bro? Like, shut up, bro. But I also think, and I want to segue into another topic, but I also think that the way that Simone Biles and her husband got together is very interesting
Yeah.
because the way they framed it was that Simone Biles took initiative to make this happen.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of rare in today's society where the
Very.
girl takes more initiative
Yeah.
in getting to the relationship with the guy. So that got me to think, like, especially in the Muslim community, right? Because we have guidelines and we have, rules, if not, like to follow when we're like courting, seeking a marriage, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stigmas around how that should be, And when we were talking about this earlier, Mahr,
Yeah.
right? Mahr is a dowry that you're supposed to pay to a family if you're seeking their marriage, like a person in their family's marriage, right? So in that sense, there's been a whole lot of 50K Mahr, the 75K Mahr, a lot of those talks from people who have nothing, from people who haven't accomplished anything, and I'm trying to figure out, like, where's the reality in this, because eventually we're going to have to pay a Mahr.
Yeah.
Right?
Funny, me and my sister, we agree on a lot of things. But this is something that we always argue about.
Okay, tell me about
We
it.
always argue.
Let me hear it.
Because I understand the point of Mahr.
Mhm.
It is it's supposed to be something that you give the other family as, like, this is for you, for your sustenance. It's supposed to be for you, right? and it's supposed to be for her specifically, but of course there's opinions from outside telling her what it should be, right?
Mhm.
But like for me personally, I understand the idea of it. My understanding, what I don't understand is why it's these astronomical numbers when most brothers don't make that much, you know?
Mhm.
Like to that point, like I was speaking to somebody really close to me, and she was like, I'm not going to accept marriage from somebody if they're not going to give me 50K.
No, I've heard that too, and I unironically heard that. I'm not even in a joke. Like unironically, somebody has told me the person who marries me can be the greatest man alive. If he can't pay that 50K, I'm not marrying him.
That's her cost.
Yeah, and it's like you're really gonna throw away a life that you want.
Yeah.
For 50K?
But to that point, I don't think I just want to specify, I don't think there's a lot of people who are like that.
Yeah.
I think
I think in the
it's
Muslim
a lot of
community,
talk.
I think the average is 5. The
Okay. 5
average
racks?
is 5
Yeah.
up front. Yeah. Typically.
Yo, I can afford that.
That's a Honda Civic. Hey,
Yo, just $5.
that's what I'm saying.
This whole time I'm thinking we're in the 20s and shit. You know, like
No,
yo.
typically. But you are going to get that person who says, yo, I want X, Y, and Z, you
Mhm.
know? And I think it's so interesting that like it really like for me personally, you know, I understand what it is, and I know I'm emphasizing that, but why wouldn't we invest in something together? You know? Like this kind of off topic, but even when it comes to a wedding, I think putting a whole wedding of 50K, 100K wedding, I see no purpose in that.
Yeah.
Like I see no reason why a wedding should be that much.
Mhm.
You know? And I've heard the other side, and they're like, this is my moment. Like this is the moment I've dreamed about for like ever since I was a little girl. Like I want this to be the best moment of my life, you know? And I get that. Like you were raised your whole life to be like, to want this Disney like princess type of like reaction and ceremony.
Mhm.
But in real life, I in my head, I cannot wrap around my head how, and you guys know I'm frugal as hell. I cannot wrap around my head
Frugal.
how I could spend
You
50K.
mean cheap?
That too.
Just
Like
saying.
I cannot imagine spending that much for one day. Like I
Yeah.
can't wrap it around my head. How about
Yeah.
you guys?
To me, I honestly think that, you know, I look at money weird because like I really don't think that I would be that hurt spending a lot on a wedding day if it's truly what the girl I'm marrying wants. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I feel like this money just comes and goes so often in
I
life
agree. Yeah,
that it's like I can't be hung up on spending loads of dollars for stuff that I'm not interested in. You know, especially if it's my wedding day. However, that being said, I do understand what you're saying. The logic behind it doesn't make any sense to me. But I tell myself that it's not for me.
I
You know?
understand that. Yeah.
It's not necessarily, I want the marriage. I don't care for the wedding day. You know, I have to go to the nikah. That's how I get married, right? But like a wedding party and you know, all this stuff, and I'm not thinking about that at all.
No, but why don't we take that money that we were gonna spend on the wedding and put it towards investments that we can have as a family?
They don't care
Why-
about no investments.
I mean, that's
Why
those
not,
are
though?
They care about the
but those
moment.
are conversations you should have before you get married.
I
You know
get
what mean?
that, but I just think it's such an unnecessary step to have.
I agree 100%. And then we had this conversation on a couple episodes back where like the lack of people's getting to know each other really before they get married.
Mm.
And then that leading to like these early divorces, you know? And it's a lot of it stems with these conversations aren't being had.
Do you think they should like live together and have these conversations before they
Not
get married?
necessarily live together, but really have the hard hitting questions answered up front, you know?
Yeah.
Like, do you want children? You know, do you want to work? You know, like those questions, those real life questions, you need to know the answers to before you get involved with somebody through marriage.
You know what I'm curious about as well?
Yeah.
It's the larger Mahrs that we're speaking about.
Yeah.
Is that the family? Because this is not only the girl coming up or whoever coming up with the number themselves. Is the family's input, since parents have a lot of experience and they have lived life.
Mhm.
Is it them valuing their daughter, saying that if they're willing to pay this much and they're willing to go through this little pitfalls that we're going to be setting up for them, are they willing and are they able to take care of our child and we can let them go? Or is it them just trying to take advantage of the moment
It's a good
and
question.
saying this guy may have a little bit of money, let's get a little bit of money first and then we can move forward?
I think it could be a combo of both. Like, but for the most part, I think it's a number for the like that the girl decides. I know there's probably influences from the outside,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's whatever she wants, right?
Mhm.
And I've heard the logic before, like if he can afford a Tesla, he can afford to pay me 70K.
70.
Who can
Yeah,
afford
like
it?
whatever.
Is that
Like-
a Tesla's 30K?
No,
Yeah,
like
they're active.
yeah, but recently, man, I'm talking about
Recently, I'm gonna give her 30K.
you give 30K, man.
I'll talk about that with
You're
my
a
wife.
good man.
You're
I'll
a
talk,
good-
I'll talk about that with my wife, you know?
Okay, what? Let me ask you guys a
I got
question.
that shit, my bad.
Just saying. Guy looked at me. I gotta talk to my wife. I'm like, goddamn.
But you just gotta like, it's
What-
based off the woman, right?
What is an amount that's crazy?
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, what's your crazy amount?
Depends on like
Depends what you're
my
making.
salary.
Yeah, depends what you're making.
If
you
she
know?
asks for like a quarter of what I'm making that year, I'm okay with it.
A quarter. Okay.
Yeah.
So what if you're making $1 million?
I'm not giving her no $250,000 wedding
Okay, then that's
or meher.
that is. Not,
But like if I had $1 million,
Inshallah.
like I'm gonna.
Got it. Gotta throw that in there.
I read that.
God willing.
But honestly, if I have $1 million, I'll give her like maybe 100K. But at the end of the day, like we're still gonna have like our life together. She's gonna live $1 million lifestyle.
You're great. You're a better man than me.
If you had $1 million, you're
You live in a
spend
$20,000 lifestyle?
No,
$1
but,
million?
like, I would listen. I know I'm talking like
You're giving it to her
talking
family.
like a hard ass right now.
I
But
know
this-
you're gonna
this-
be a
this-
softie.
No, no,
bro.
no,
And you're
no.
No, but like, listen. At the end of the day,
his girl's gonna have him like this, man. I know you,
this guy's talking big.
You're just a
No, no,
lover,
no.
bro.
I'm willing to go to a debate table. Like I'm willing to sit down and actually have this conversation.
No, but like,
Like-
think about it like this: like the money that you're giving is not only to her; it's to her family, right? So you're supporting her family.
Well, it's supposed to be to
That
her,
is-
right?
Yeah.
No, but I thought it was like to the family as well. It's,
It's
not
to
only
her,
to her.
man.
No,
it
it's
depends on.
towards the
Is she
family.
spending it all?
Supporting the family.
It's up to her.
It's up to her.
She
Okay.
has the right to give it to her family, hold it down. It's up to her.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
See, I don't know.
It's how it's supposed to
Changes it up.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like my uncle, for example, like him and his wife have been married, mashallah, for 30 plus years.
Mhm.
And they love each other, mashallah. And I had conversations with him about marriage and whatnot. And he told me that him and his wife got together and they were so eager to be married that they basically not necessarily skipped the Mahr process, but he gave her just a kitab.
Oh,
And that was it.
yeah.
Yeah. And
She's
now
proud.
she was like, that's all I need.
I thought
Got the kitab.
Allah, she's a keeper.
They got
That's
they
a
had the
keeper.
nikah and they've
Was it
been
the
together.
West or back home?
That was here. That was in America.
Really?
But yeah, and they've been together so many years and they love each other, mashallah. And it's just like when their love is there, when
Mhm.
two people really want to be with each other, I don't think money's gonna get in the way.
Facts.
They both
I really
been
don't
through
think
stuff
money's gonna get in
together.
the way.
Facts.
You
That's
know?
probably it.
No, I agree with that.
But like,
Remember-
family's gonna influence. As soon as the family sees you up, they're gonna say, "Oh, yo, just ask for a little bit more."
But if your girl really, truly, really loves you and wants to be with you, she's gonna say fuck all that.
No, but she's gonna say, "Fuck all." Like, "Oh, my grandma's in the hospital. She needs."
Well,
Like,
if your grandma's in the hospital, that's a reason,
Why
brother.
did you not
What the hell are you talking about?
listen.
What's wrong with you, bro?
The meher is gonna be used for the family.
This
In
guy
dire
always
situation.
has to one off your statement, bro. But what if this?
Yo, I'm dying.
Yeah, she's in the ground, she's in the hospital.
You have to make sure you check all the boxes.
Okay, then, bro, we're gonna deal with that. Like, come on, man. Take away from
I've
my-
heard people say like I've gotten kittens or cats as a
Oh, that's
like
good.
you know.
I never
Really?
thought about that.
I've heard this. I've heard the story. I've seen it on TikTok.
Wow.
Like, I don't know someone who personally did
Give
it.
your wife Hercules.
What do you think of
Never.
What do you think of
That's
the
my
idea?
guy.
What do you think of the idea of getting a pet in a new marriage first
I don't want pets.
before you have kids?
No, I'm good.
I'll get it.
I
Before
feel like
have
that would
kids.
be a nice trial. You know,
No, I'm good. I don't
it'd
want
be a
pets.
nice like you got
So
responsibility.
this
in you.
cat survives, and we're gonna
The
be
cat
good
lives
parents?
great. We live good. And we can be good parents.
Oh, I see
That's
that. I
wild.
see that. I see that.
Why not?
That's too much. That's too much burden on a fresh new relationship.
It's not really a burden though. It's like to take care of. It depends. If it's a cat, it's blessed. All you have to do is
Well,
make sure it's
I'm
like.
not gonna have no dog.
So past the honeymoon phase.
Huh?
Past the honeymoon phase. When you guys are in a comfortable place, then okay, let's introduce a cat. Give it a few months, not
right away.
When we moved in together, yo, here's something that.
Yeah, I'm
you have to
just
look
saying
after.
like at first, before kids. What do you think of that idea?
How long has it been though?
Yeah, a couple months.
Let's say a couple months. Yeah,
I would give it a couple months.
not the day after the cat.
No, not within the first 2 months though. I would give it
A
like
cat is not a
3,
big
4 months.
commitment, bro.
It's not.
Like
This guy hasn't lived with a cat before.
This
He
is
hasn't
not-
lived with a cat.
The only person here who doesn't have a cat.
Yeah.
It's not a big commitment.
I've been around cats though.
But you never had one. It's different.
I had no interest.
Okay.
I had no interest.
I had no interest before I got a cat.
I'm not
I'll
trying
say
to.
that.
I don't know if we have PETA in Canada. I don't harm animals.
Well, you
No interest.
I got
You
you.
kick one? What?
They're just here.
Nothing.
They're just here.
Nothing.
He said, "Yo,
Yeah.
take his cats away."
So in short, I mean, like, you know, I that's my theory is that bringing a pet into an early marriage will help the marriage.
Is it something that like the two spouses can focus on?
Yeah,
instead of,
it's like a little bit of a test of responsibility because you don't want to be not ready for kids. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that people struggle with. They have like a shock when they have kids. Like, oh fuck, I have to do this. It's like, yeah, you know, they're kids.
but I've never had. Do kittens like cry in the middle of the night and
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they wild out.
they
during the-
tease and all that stuff happens with them as well?
Well, you wake up in the middle of the night because they're hungry.
No, but did they go through the teething phase as well, or is
No,
it,
no,
no.
no,
I don't know how separate.
no. They're like they're very much animals first, but they
Yeah.
have needs like humans.
Yeah.
You know,
Like they'll wake you up by sitting on your face when they're kids.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute, but then it's annoying. Like
It is.
after it's just like, God damn it.
bro. I don't know about you guys, but there's no couch, there's no bed, there's no freestanding structure made of cloth that hasn't been ripped up to death by my cats.
Or they don't do that shit
It
anymore.
is crazy how.
They'll rip up like a couch like this.
Yeah, every couch, the arms are like
Really?
ripped up.
That's
beds,
what
the side of the
we
beds.
we actually clipped them now.
I clip them too.
Okay, then
How
yeah.
did
That's a
How did you-
nightmare to do, bro.
Psychotic.
They're just chaotic,
They're determined.
man. They're just chaotic, man.
Yeah, they need an outlet.
I buy them the scratching post.
Yeah.
They don't look
I
at
don't know
it.
what's going on in the
'Cause
house.
they want something better. For
They don't give a fuck about it. I spent $50 on a cat condo. It was called a cat condo.
on Amazon.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is a condo. There's stories on this bitch.
They
Never
just looked
slept.
at it. They just went, all right,
Never
fuck
slept
that.
in it, fam.
Go straight to the couch.
Moving on. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
So again, the news has been kind of quiet, but we always get some spice. Every time I look in the TL, there's some spice. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it boldly though. Is Draymond Green a psychopath? Does he need to be checked on? Because the way this narrative about it right now is like, yo, he has a couple loose screws.
What's the narrative right now?
Okay, so basically he got suspended indefinitely this time.
3 weeks.
For
Around
is it 3 weeks
minimum.
officially?
Yeah, minimum.
3 weeks? Oh, that's a lot
Yeah.
of basketball. Anyways, whatever. He gets suspended because he punched Yusuf Nurkic. He was kind of like
Yeah, I
swinging
heard
his
about
arm.
that.
Flailing.
Yeah, he was flailing his arm. He swung his arms and then he made contact with his face with his fist. Insane. How do you play basketball like that first? How do you,
He's just flailing his
how do you
hands
hoop like that?
He
Who
played basketball,
played with
kicking guys in the nuts.
Who
so-
play was that? But his definition or what happened, his like explanation of what happened was that he got fouled, he got his arm held,
Yeah.
and he was trying to flail his arms to sell to the ref that he got fouled.
Yeah.
So he was flopping.
With a fist, right?
Yeah, but the fist, close-handed,
All right.
swinging around, bow right into the nigga's skull.
God damn.
How? That
How's
the-
Yusuf Nurkic after?
I mean, he was on the ground for a while. He was fine eventually, right? But this is now coming off of the Rudy Gobert choke
Oh.
and the bonus stomp from last year in the playoffs.
That I don't have. Like the way he did it was too much.
Mhm.
But the man held his leg though,
I agree.
as he was running.
I agree. It wasn't. He reacted to that. That's where I hold him
Yeah,
accountable. You know, that you can't react that way.
you can't
did
do it
happen.
all the way
Yeah,
up.
it
but-
did happen. There is fault
Yeah.
from Sabonis, but you can't react that way,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So the Warriors have now put him in counseling
I think
to get help mentally.
They had to.
What do you guys like? Okay, first off, before I give my opinion, I want to hear what you guys have to think about this. Like, what do you think about Draymond Green right now? Is he a psychopath to you guys?
Can I just have like one answer?
Yeah.
What's he averaging right now?
He's
His
having a
stat
good.
line.
He's having a good year too.
Really?
Yeah, he's like their second best 3-point shooter.
really.
I don't know where.
Better than Clay.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
averaging like
interesting.
45%
I never would
from
have thought
three.
that my entire life.
His percentages have gotten better, and his play has. I wouldn't say his play has gotten much better, but he's having an improved season.
Okay,
Wow.
that's
on
fine.
the
Wow.
court.
I don't like the narrative going around with Draymond because I'm a Draymond fan. Like I watch his podcast.
I could
I
tell.
love seeing him on NBA TNT.
Tell you're a fan of him.
First of all, I am not an aggressive nigga.
You pedigree Didn't you pedigree me?
That was 11 years ago.
Yo, our fight was 11 years ago.
That was-
Me and Skate fought 11 years
we're
ago.
grown.
bro.
We're
That's
grown now.
Wow,
That's crazy.
that's
How
crazy.
you guys dapping up on the anniversary?
Wow, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd are friends today.
Always
So
funny.
what?
Yeah, we'll talk about that one episode.
One of these days, we gotta give like your POV, my
Yeah,
POV.
one day.
We gotta get
But-
Karsh over here.
Yo, nah. I'm good. Back to what I was saying.
Yo.
I don't like the narrative going on around Draymond Green right now. Like the idea that there's something wrong with him mentally, like the whole thing about he needs help. He's an amazing individual. Like if you see him off the court, he is like an awesome person.
Yeah.
Like if I know you guys seen interviews of him or him on his podcast or him in other social spaces, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not that person. But when you're in the NBA, I think there are times where you have to develop a character. Like Kobe Bryant, he had a Mamba mentality. He had like this black Mamba, you know? Like LeBron James in like remember in Miami when he
Evil Bron.
yeah, like there were like there's things you have to
Dylan
embody in order to be successful as a basketball player.
Dylan Brooks, he's a character.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
He stands in front of like the whole crowd at the beginning of every game and just stares at them like this.
It's the opposing team he's staring at.
Yeah,
Staring
like
at their bench.
He just stares at
Yeah.
them. And then he plays awesome. Like nobody can talk shit about Dylan Brooks because
He's
he
locked
plays
in.
well, right? Pardon?
He's locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in. That's what I like to think. And this whole ideology about Draymond needs help. There's something wrong with him. No, this is just a character he plays to be successful. Like if you look, this version of Draymond has won championships.
Yeah.
If anything, he's aging better with his game. Like he's not as athletic as he used to be. No, he's still a defensive anchor for
one
his
of the
team.
best defenders in the
He's
league.
still the best two-man punch in my opinion with Steph Curry. Like I think when him and Steph are on the floor, magic happens. And that's because Draymond Green allows Steph Curry to be amazing.
Yeah.
You know? So for them to paint this narrative that Draymond is something's going on with him. No, it's not. He's just an aggressive player who, I'm not gonna lie, this punch thing out of place. Does he need counseling? No. Just suspend the man, find him, bring him back to the NBA.
I
You know, I feel like putting him through a whole program. Who do you think you are?
Yeah. All right, what's with these teams in these programs now? First it was Kyrie, you got to do 8-step program, and
Oh, that one was wild.
and now it's Draymond. Yeah, Jama, you got to do this like counseling program.
John needed a line.
You just need a nigga to tell you to don't do that, bro.
No. There is something wrong with John.
John went to the counseling and then went on live again, bro. Like, it clearly didn't work. Like,
There's something wrong with that nigga. But Draymond, he's a normal dude. Give him a fine. Suspend him.
Yeah.
Don't put a narrative on him. Now, this ruins his opportunities moving forward with a lot of, like, for example, NBA TNT. He has a contract with them, right? This could dissolve that.
Think so?
You know?
Sorry, the reaction to it or the punch?
No, like, this whole, like, Jordan
narrative.
Poole, like, the use of Nurkic thing, the what
Sabonis
Gobert.
thing.
Yeah, like, this whole
Gobert.
thing. I understand he's in a lot of situations.
There's a lot of things you just named.
But, like, that's who he is as a player.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with him. That's a character he plays in order for his team to do well. And guess what? They won a championship 2 years ago. Like, clearly he is part of a winning formula.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're arguing against him as a basketball, like the entirety of the basketball player.
Yeah.
There's a difference though. I agree. What he's shown to the world outside of the basketball court, he has a nice mind for the game, and he's personable. So he's gonna get good contracts after he's done and while he's playing. I think he's one of the only guys right now that's an athlete and a journalist at the same time on TNT and on accredited networks. But the issue is there's like the guys that you named, like Kobe. I was just watching what was it? Shannon Sharp's thing with Gilbert Arenas and Ocho. Nightcap. And they were talking about, like, Gilbert brought up a funny story about how Kobe told Smush Parker, and Smush Parker apparently is coming out about it now. Like, you need to get more accolades to speak to me.
Yeah, he was on some wild shit like that.
That's wild. That's hilarious in hindsight, but that's
fair game.
what? Huh?
I think that's fair game. If you're Kobe Bryant, you could say that.
You're exactly, but that doesn't. I don't think that was as extreme of his mentality and what he's known for to do stuff that harms other people. You can't continually harm people and do that and then call it within the bounds of a character and within the bounds of who he is on the court, though. If you're harming guys and kicking guys in the nuts, knocking guys out, choking guys out, the choking one out, he says the narrative, he was helping his teammate. There's a lot of stuff where you're just harming people and you're becoming a nuisance and a liability to the NBA, though. Like, people have to, there's additional stuff that have to go on behind the scenes And that Ja thing started that counseling thing. I don't know what that did for him, man. I don't know how that's helping.
Dog, I'm fine with him. Them finding him and suspending him.
Yeah.
He deserves that. He put a nigga in a chokehold.
I think this goes back to the Jordan Poole punch, bro. Like, they should have done this counseling thing then, to me. Because that was really something that needed, like, counseling to me.
How long
like
was
that,
he gone for that?
I think they didn't suspend him. They just fined him.
Yeah.
Oh,
The next night,
the
next night was ring night. And they didn't want him to miss getting his ring.
Mhm.
And that kind of showed precedent over Jordan Poole. And then eventually Jordan Poole had a bad season. They didn't have good chemistry on the court. He gets traded. Now they're in limbo, you know?
Mhm.
So that punch to me ruined a lot for that team, you know? And I think that the team as an organization didn't nip that in the butt when they should have, you know? They should have took care of that. They should have got help for him. They should have got help for Jordan Poole. They should have mended that relationship so that it didn't hurt them as a team. Because now we have multiple occurrences since then of Draymond Green doing something. And now they're putting a narrative on him and calling him like a psychopath, for lack of a better term, right? But we all know him to just be like an enforcer type, you know, he just plays with a lot of passion, you know? There's players that have been like that. And it's very selective who he's doing these things to, you know, like Rudy Gobert, Yusuf Nurkic, DeMontis Sabonis, Steven Adams. Like, these are all like nice guys, you know, like he's not going to do it to
the
you.
Strongest person in the NBA.
But he's not going to swing on you ever. He's just such a nice guy, you know?
could kill him.
He would never, ever in his life even think of it. Unless he was like harming something, like unless he was in the position where it was life or death for Steven Adams.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a part of him in his body where he looking at people like that. But like, then there's guys like Ibaka, you know, like there's Kevin Garnett, you know, like you didn't see Draymond Green getting up to these guys' faces and shit when they were around, right? Yeah, so it's like, it's very selective what he does. It's like an enforcer, if anything, in the NBA, right? And I think the enforcer in the NBA, since it's very much if you foul somebody, you're going to get called, you know, like if you touch somebody, you're going to get called. Since it's that type of NBA, there's really not a lot of space for people like Draymond Green anymore. So that's now become a narrative. It's like, oh shit, this guy's like this guy's like this, this guy's like this. But truly and honestly, I feel like you said, this is just who he is. You know, this has always been Draymond Green.
Do you think he's just a physical player, or do you think he's a dirty player?
I don't think he's a dirty player.
No.
I think he has a slight temper. He has a temperament to him, but I think he's just a chaotic player. If anything, that's the best way I could describe it. He's a chaotic player. He moves very crazy. Like he said, he was trying to get the ref's attention by flailing his arms and shit. So he's known to be very like
aggressive.
Yeah, like, aggressive and like spontaneous and like unpredictable on the court. And that can sometimes lead to like collisions and sometimes lead to like issues like that. But I don't think he's a psychopath. I think he's more calculated than that. I think he knows that, especially now that he got suspended for 3 weeks, he said. I think now he's going to be on like some different type of time, for lack of a better term.
The NBA and I think other sports networks are running into, like WWE. Remember, you were a WWE fan.
Dan.
Remember the Attitude Era and the Rated R era and things like that, where they could stick the middle finger out. They can show women in different things. They can. I think that's what the NBA's progressed, where the enforcer is now the motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Beverly, other than that DeAndre Ayton thing, we don't see much of his antics on the court of recently, especially. But you see him talk to his teammates, motivate his teammates.
Yeah,
I think that's where the enforcer moved to, is the guys that not yelling at the other opponents, but trying to get their team up and try to get their team locked in now. I think that's where his hopefully this is not the counseling again. I completely agree. That's useless.
Yeah, there's really no need for that.
He's a 35-year-old man that you can counsel him for.
You can be 35 and need
No, but you can be 35, but he's a millionaire and they're trying to. It's like the Emi Udoka thing. They're not really trying to help him. They're trying to save face.
I think it's optics. Yeah,
Trying to make an example.
I think it's optics,
exactly
yeah.
like
we
Ja
did
thing,
something. You know
exactly. We're this is how we're reprimanding.
Yeah,
him. It takes them trying to save face for everything. I don't think he needs to learn how to calm down. But the question I had as well, him calming down, will that affect his game though?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think so because he like the Draymond Green's real specialty is how he gets Steph Curry involved, right? To me at least, you know, because he's never been a high volume scorer. He's never been anything aside from a guy who reads defenses perfectly and who can get offenses going, right? So those two things he's really good at. And I think there's not much room for his temperament and stuff, because he doesn't get a lot of shot opportunities. You know what I mean? Like he's just usually playing the toughest matchup on defense, and he's looking for Steph Curry and or Klay Thompson and or Jordan Poole, whatever, who's ever on the team. So in that sense, he's so valuable to that team that I don't think the narrative around him is gonna cause any issues because they need him. You know what I mean? Like nobody else can do what he does. They can't fill that hole with anything. But to me, I truly think that his days are numbered because of this.
In the NBA or on?
No, on that team. On that team.
I don't think so.
Because I don't think they can afford more instances of this. Because like we're saying, it's an optics thing, right?
Mhm.
So this narrative doesn't really exist, but it's out there.
He's
right?
important.
I think he's important too, but I don't think it's important. I don't think he's so important that they can lose games because of this.
Yeah, no.
You know?
He is a vet. Not only is he like, in my opinion, I think he's the leader of that team. I know Steph Curry is the best player.
Yeah, I would agree. He's definitely the heart and soul of that team.
I think Draymond is the vocal leader.
Yeah.
Steph is like the game leader. You know?
Yeah, he's like he leads by example.
If you take him out, they could probably still win. If you have Steph on the team, fam, anything's possible.
Real talk.
Not gonna say, but I'm saying without Draymond Green as number 2, I don't know if it's possible for them to win the chip.
Yeah.
But that's, it is what it is.
They have a nice team. I like their young guys though.
Pajensky.
The kid that just came in. Moody showing something.
Yeah.
What?
No,
What's
not
his name?
Moody. Kaminga showing
Kuminga,
something.
Yeah. Remember
Huh?
Moody
Yeah.
from high school?
I do still. Random.
Yeah.
I do remember him.
Every time I see the guy on Golden State, his name is Moses Moody. I always think of that guy.
I wonder
I'm
how
like,
he's doing.
damn. Fun fact: that guy
Well,
taught me how
That
to
was
play.
so random. Call me off guard.
It's gonna be
I was like, okay. No, we're keeping that in. We're keeping that
There's so many. You gotta share the gems. You know what I mean? This is how the game goes.
But on that note,
Mhm.
we're almost at the end of the year. Do any of you guys have any New Year's resolutions?
I told this guy my New Year's resolution. He laughed at me. Whoa! Make it to the next New Year's.
No, I didn't laugh at you.
You said
I just said that's the
that-
baseline. Like,
I was like,
That's all
Hey,
baseline.
tell the viewers, what is your...
I told him I want to make it to the next New Year's. Just that's it. That's all I
What
want.
was your response?
I just said that's basic.
I said, what? That's it? I said,
mean,
yeah,
like,
bro.
yo,
Like,
reach your hand out. You know,
I mean, my hand's reaching
Reach your
out.
hand
But come on, man. I got to be grateful for life, man.
I'm happy that you're grateful.
Thank you. Appreciate that. What's your New Year's resolution?
My
I
New
wanna
Year's
know.
resolution?
You're an artist, bro.
Alright,
You
what
gotta
is-
have
yo,
high
alright,
bars.
What is your New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution. I never really thought about it in a long time.
Get into that.
Think about it right now.
Like, where do you want to be a year from now in terms of your artistry?
Think about strictly on my artistry.
Yeah.
Just for my Rolling Loud.
Rolling loud.
A year from now?
A year
Yeah.
from now.
I don't think that's possible.
Yo, you gotta dream big, fam.
Yo, dream big.
Dream big.
Dream
bro.
big.
Dream big.
Okay, let's
Why
be
you dem- why you
realistic.
Gotta
demanding
dream
shit
big.
like
Let's
that?
be realistic.
Let's be
That is
realistic.
real.
Let's be realistic.
Come on, man.
Listen,
Have you heard this guy's music?
I'm his big. No, I'm your biggest
I don't think
supporter.
you heard- I don't think you heard-
F the
I don't think you
music,
heard
F the
this
music.
kid.
But I'm gonna try that. Man's want to go to Rolling Loud still.
You want to go to Rolling Loud, or you want
Just
to
a fan?
perform?
No, perform.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I was about to
that's
say that's
possible. Because I know Rolling
Yeah.
Loud. I know Rolling Loud. They love to invest in the community that they're in, right?
yeah.
Like when we went, there were so many people I never heard about.
Yeah.
And I left. I went
Toronto
to
artists?
the
Toronto
other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just left them.
I'm not trying to.
You're not writing for your own? You're not writing for your own?
I'm not trying
It's
to.
getting
You don't want to hear Smiley?
That was the worst.
Don't put
experience
Damn,
I've
man.
ever had
Don't put
in my
names
life.
on
And
it.
to his point, I'll give him one thing that he did right. He sounds exactly like he sounds in his music and real life.
I fuck with Smiley.
You
All
do?
right,
I do, yeah.
I can't talk about this. Nigga.
Why? What's wrong with Smiley?
Smiley has some bangers. He has some bangers.
Bangers.
He has some bangers.
What-
Let's support Toronto.
Give me a course.
Listen,
I never listened to him in a
whether
while.
That's what I
listen,
thought.
whether I don't really check for Smiley, but when his music's playing, I'm like, yeah.
Give me
Exactly,
one.
yeah.
Give me one memorable Smiley line.
I didn't say I listen to
Track-
his music.
I'm just saying the track he
had.
had with Drake was not that bad.
Give me a lyric.
A lyric?
Yeah, you like his music, right?
I said that. Okay, look, listen. When you listen to music, you just vibe to it, fam. You don't have to listen to lyrics. It's just at the end of the day, you just have to listen to it and just vibe. When he says Gucci and Prada don't go together, you just gotta hit that.
Yeah.
Just gotta hit that vibe.
You don't understand, bro. There's layers to that.
Oh, you got the cadence down.
No, but he's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea.
Shout out to Smiley, man. I hope all the best for you, brother.
All right. So you stay alive.
Stay alive, bro.
You
Make it to the next sunrise.
Rolling Loud. By the way, they're not going to be here next year. Are you doing Rolling Loud here?
You just
Why
want
you
him
shitting
to
on
not
his-
have whatever he's saying. Like, why are you such a negative guy, bro? Like, let him
They're
have
not
a
here.
dream.
They're not here.
They're not here next year?
Yeah, they're not
They
here.
didn't come this year, like.
They didn't come
Nah,
this
they
year.
come
Jeez.
So you're going to Rolling Loud, LA, Miami, whatever.
Whatever.
Fucking
They're calling
Rolling
out
Loud.
my name.
Inshallah.
Nah, but real talks, 2024 Rolling Loud. I'm gonna be there.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yo, can we be in your next music video, bro? Like, I've been asking you for so many months now. Like, you made me shoot a fake video in the summer. Like,
Hey, yo.
like, come on, man. I was so amped to explain it, bro. Like,
Listen. There's like some, callbacks. There's like some production.
callbacks,
videos.
right?
We had to like.
When is the CV?
We had to do
when is the
recasting
Coffee
of some
Break
issues, But there's a lot of.
When is the Coffee Break
Recasting,
podcast?
you're the
That's-
only
we had to
person.
recast.
You're the only person.
We had to recast. Okay. There's a new schedule. The people have been notified.
Am I
What
included?
did you do with my scenes?
Huh?
What did you do with the scenes I shot?
I have them. I have all the scenes.
What about
Ready.
my scenes?
You have scenes?
Me and him had some scenes
Yeah.
together.
What scenes? Oh, you too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I still have those.
We had some crazy
I have yours
shots.
too.
Yeah. I'll
He was
dap you
there.
just to dap you.
He was
Yeah,
there.
just let it happen. Anyways.
Such a weird guy.
He took.
Anyways,
Such a
okay,
weird
fine.
guy.
Rolling Loud. What's yours?
I don't have.
You know
No New Year's resolution?
why's that?
That's cap. Yeah, bro.
What-
What's a goal, though? Give
I
us
was
a
about
goal.
to thank you. What's your goal you have?
Like savings right now. I'd start a new job, so that's the one thing I'm focusing on. Is just getting it to a certain amount.
Get the bag.
Fuck with that.
It's not rolling loud, but
Hey, yo, relax. Getting the bag regardless.
Yeah, man.
I try to, that's a new plug.
Yeah, you're gonna get that. Don't
Give
worry.
your pitch.
Actually, yo, give you a pitch right now. I'll
Give your
I'll
pitch.
make this
These
clip.
niggas love
I'll
putting
make
me on
this-
the
I'll
spot.
make- I'll make
These
this
niggas
clip.
love putting me on
I'm
the
gonna make
spot.
this a
Yeah, I'm gonna be
clip.
real with you, though. I actually really, really enjoy your music. So, like, wholeheartedly,
Thank you.
I want people to know.
Thank you. I
Like,
appreciate
tell
it.
them.
I
Tell them.
appreciate that. About what?
About your
No.
music.
Give a pitch right now to Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
If you guys want to have the greatest show
Ra?
you ever had in your entire life,
Mhm.
Okay.
that's gonna be better than every show that's ever been on Earth.
What?
Gotta hire fantasy.
Mhm.
Let me be a
Facts.
fantasy,
Mhm.
Facts.
and that's all I got.
The
Okay.
bag
all I
can't
gotta
be
say.
small. The bag can't be small.
I'll take $2.
Yo, it's the platform, I like.
It's a platform. I have to. It's a platform.
Engage.
I'll take a McDouble as payment.
I'll do it for a McDouble.
This
Damn.
nigga's the same nigga, even when you were young. As long as you give this nigga a big double, he's good.
Yo, McDouble coming like it's a great meal. It's a tier meal.
No,
Yeah, that's funny.
McDoubles, they're getting too expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Getting way too expensive.
Oh,
But yo, we're boycotting that. We don't do that anymore.
We don't do that
We
shit.
don't do that.
I haven't
Yeah,
been to
we don't do
McDonald's. Actually, I haven't
After
been to McDonald's in
McDouble.
a while.
Huh?
We're
Is
boycotting
boycotting
now.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Big boycott season.
They support
McDonald's in general.
McDonald's,
McDonald's.
Starbucks.
Okay, I thought there's someone.
I haven't had that in 3 months.
3
The
months?
last time I had it was with you.
You cut ties with them? And you
Yeah,
cut ties with them?
Literally.
Yeah.
2 times.
2 times. All right, then. Get them out of your life, bro. You don't need them.
100%, fam. But yo, my goal. Inshallah, I want Coffee Break Podcast to be the Toronto. I want it to be the biggest thing in Toronto.
Inshallah,
Okay.
man.
I want the Coffee Break Podcast to be a stop. Like, I'm very inspired by Kai Cenat. The way where, how right now when celebrities are on a run, they go to Jimmy Kimmel, they go to Jimmy Fallon, they go to
He's
these
part of the
other,
junket.
yeah, they go to these major audiences because they want to be like, yo, something new is coming out.
he's part of like the press tour.
Right now, Kai has made a name for himself, and people go on his stream in order to be like, yo, they're promoting something, right?
Yeah, it's like Gillian Wallow, like
Exactly.
that group of people.
Nicki Minaj came on I think last week, the week
Yeah,
before.
For sure. And she
You know?
hasn't. I don't think she's been on Gillian Wallow, but she went to him.
Yeah, she went to him
She
because
knows.
there was 400,000 or 300,000 people watching at
You're one?
once. Huh?
You want them?
No, I don't want to do
You know
that.
she-
that?
I support him. I'm a YouTube supporter. I'm not a Twitch supporter.
She literally joined his world. Like I don't watch too much, but I seen that Offset dancing moment where the guys
Yeah.
came in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
She had that same thing where the people came in the
That's
room.
what's up.
Yeah, I
Like the
seen
little
that too,
dance
yeah.
moment.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
That's
dope.
wholesome as fuck,
Yeah.
man. I really fuck with shit.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
didn't move into her world. She moved into a bit of his.
Yeah, I saw a
That's
couple
what I
clips of
want.
that.
That's what I want Coffee Break Podcast to be.
Inshallah, man.
I don't know if we're gonna accomplish that next year.
You will.
I know,
You
inshallah,
will.
down the pipeline, we are gonna be a household name.
For sure.
For sure.
Deadass.
For sure.
And next year, the purpose, my whole reason, I don't even care about my real job. I don't even care about.
I
I'm
love
telling
that.
you right
That
now.
be on, bro. See what you
When it
check.
comes when it,
See what
next
you
year,
chest.
I'm putting 110% into this podcast.
110? 125.
You know? Right, fam, I'm telling you right now, I don't think we're going to make it. We're
I
gonna
know it.
fucking make it.
Brah!
You feel me? I appreciate that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Well, that's my goal.
That's what's up, man. I genuinely and wholeheartedly feel the same way. This is gonna be like it should be a staple in Toronto. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I feel like that's like you said, rite of passage when you're doing something with
I
something
want that.
going on.
Yes, yeah.
Come right here, talk to us. We'll get into the nitty gritty
With coffee.
with coffee.
Eventually. Eventually, I want a collaboration with coffee.
Eventually, when I come, there'll be coffee, right?
100%. fam.
Eventually.
I got you.
Eventually.
Didn't you make fun of me at the beginning of the show for wanting coffee?
Eventually.
You're
I'm
always-
saying eventually.
You got
Inshallah.
the coffee colors on and shit. It's all good, man.
I appreciate
It's
you.
good.
Such a fashion.
Yeah,
I
man.
fam, I always wear coffee. I always wear coffee.
You do. You're
Coffee,
very
bro.
conscious
I
about
always
that.
wear coffee.
You
I don't
do.
even know if you guys noticed that.
Eh,
but I
I'm
always-
watching you. You got the
I
drip, bro.
appreciate you,
You got
bro.
the drip, man. You got the drip.
Inshallah, that's my goal, man. I want 2024 to be painted in CB
P.
P.
Mhm.
Sounds wrong. Just sounds wrong.
Yo, you ruined my clip.
Shalom. All right, redo it.
I'm not redoing it. I'm not redoing it.
That's payback a lot for the road.
Alive?
Yeah, like, that's it for me, fam.
All right. Another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Slim. These are my brothers.
Jama.
Dale.
And this is our guest, the man of the hour.
Guest.
Go listen to his music. Shout him out. Yo, can they catch you on Spotify, Apple Music, all that?
Hmm?
They can catch you on Spotify,
You can
Apple
catch me on
Music.
Spotify, Apple Music.
Title.
I look a bit on YouTube.
Mhm.
You know, open your ears.
Tell it like you mean it, bro.
I'm just trying to tell you guys.
The boy
What it is.
fantasy in the building, man. Thanks again for stopping by the Coffee Break Podcast. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. See y'all next time. And Happy New Year.